Welcome to Puerto Maldonado, a beautiful city in the heart of the jungles of southern Peru. Puerto Maldonado is sometimes called the gateway to the jungle because of its strategic location on the Madre de Dios River, and the first stop for many who visit the region for expeditions into the greater Amazon rainforest.
God has called us to fulfill the Great Commission as missionaries to the unreached people groups. When we first heard about the unreached people groups of the Madre de Dios region, we were burdened, and in 2009 we came to Puerto Maldonado. Our plan was to immediately venture out to the unreached tribes, but God's plans are not always our plans. Several factors made it wiser for us to stay here in town and create a base before venturing out as full-time missionaries into the interior jungle.
In the 10 years we've been here in Puerto, we have seen God's blessing in the planting of Iglesia Bautista Evangélica de la Gracia, a church which has grown to over 100 and which has sent out many disciple makers.
We praise the Lord that in 2012 we saw the salvation of Emily, followed by her husband Segundo, who was the chief in his tribe at that time. Through much time spent discipling them, they have both grown spiritually and have become close friends and co-workers in our work here in Peru. We hope to travel upriver to labor with them in reaching the uncontacted.
There are an estimated 24 unreached people groups in the country of Peru, with a heavy concentration in this region. We believe that Christ has called us to live among the tribes in the jungle full-time, fulfilling the Great Commission by winning these people for Him and making disciple makers from within the tribes. 2 Timothy 2:2 says, "The things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also."
We realize that this will not be easy. It will cost sacrificing the luxuries we know, sacrificing many hours of blood, sweat, and tears, and it may even mean sacrificing our own lives. But as Paul said in Philippians 1:21, "For to me to live is Christ, and to die is gain."
We're thankful to be serving the Lord with our family in Peru, even though COVID made some of the situations a little bit more difficult. Thankfully, not all of our meetings were affected, and we were able to start meeting again, both the men and the women, as they celebrated Loren's birthday. And we love going upriver. We were not allowed to do that as much this year either. You can see here some of the houses that we visited, and this map shows some of the places that we've been able to travel to on our medical campaigns. The kids jump right in and get involved. They love being part of the work. We'll oftentimes include dental work and eye exams, as you can see here. Of course, we have our pharmacy and typical general medicine. We're very thankful for the doctors and personnel who come down and help. And you can see here one of our interns, Kristen, as she and Abigail are washing dishes. That's their sink right there. This man was shot with an arrow in that beach right behind where they were in that last picture. But of course, we have our evangelism side in the medical campaigns, which we couldn't do without our faithful Peruvian church members. We'll hold church services at night as possible, and one of the neat bonuses is getting to see all sorts of wildlife like macaws, giant rodents of unusual size, types of turkeys that we have in the jungle. This is a very small rodent on the left that Joseph's holding, and then of course a sloth on the right with a baby. That's a jaguar we saw one day as we were going down the jungle. I have lots of tarantulas as well. And remembering through all this that it's the feet of those who announce the gospel of peace that are beautiful, like these friends and co-workers in Peru. We're thankful to be able to partner with them as well. You see here one of the reasons we can't go out as much is because this is our church body meeting here in our old building. We're thankful that several people have been saved and baptized. In fact, quite a few have been saved and baptized over the last few years. And we appreciate very much a group called Hoops for Hope. They've come to help us with basketball, evangelism, sports, outreach several times over the last few years. Gets us into schools, even into the prison was that first picture. And the Lord has always blessed there. We had quite an interesting time during the COVID. We started by visiting our neighbors, and soon our whole yard was filled with people who would come. They'd show up every day, literally by the hundreds. Thankful not only that they were coming, but that we were able to involve other folks in the church, different church members who helped us and participated. Some of them also spoke to these crowds of people who were in front of our house. We would always make sure to give the gospel first before we would pass out the food. You see here Magnita, one of our other co-workers, Richard, one of our deacons, and the people would come in and grab the bags on the way in the door, and we'd be filling them as they walk through the line. All the kids were involved with us as well. You can see all 3 kids there in that picture, as well as somebody who came and helped. And then many people would choose to stay afterwards, and we'd hold Bible studies with them there in our patio, which we're very thankful for the space. God allowed us to do some counseling one-on-one and to even share the gospel more in depth with some of those who are volunteers. My neighbor across the street actually made a profession of faith, even though he was bedridden and soon passed away. We're thankful again for many volunteers who came. There are several different villages that are asking us to come. The first one there was Tipishka. This one's Monte Salvado. This one here is called Boquerambari. And we'd like to get out there more. We're very thankful also for our college and career class who are helping with children's ministries. And as we disciple them, it's so exciting to see them getting involved and serving in so many different ways. Here they are after helping us organize the Valentine's banquet. Lots of other church members as well involved with some of these activities. Here's one of the youth group meetings we're having in our living room and celebrating one of the young ladies here as she was having a birthday. We've also been able to hold youth camp on our very own property. God gave us this property for free. It's beautiful. It has a creek, and what a joy to be able to use this. However, it's not without opposition. This man here, along with some others, have been opposed to us purchasing our property. We've continued, however, with the construction. You can see here the footers. There we are pouring the second floor roof. There's the electricians who are coming along behind and passing the cables through. Here we are getting ready for a service, trying to hang up a screen. There's the structure for the second floor. Of course, we've done quite a lot of work inside as well. Church people have helped with some of the painting and some of the smaller things, although most of our folks are not tradespeople. We've had to hire out a lot of the work, and we're very excited about how it's turned out. It's not done yet. As you can see here, we still have work to do. But the reason we're in Peru, going back again to the unreached people groups, if we don't tell them, who will? Please pray for Lorraine as well, as all this has affected her health, and she's had several difficulties. Please also pray for a Peruvian pastor, godly co-workers, and the unreached of Peru. Perhaps God would have you come to Peru as well.